Yeah, he's a legit linebacker. He's one of the better ones in the league, if not one of the best ones in the league. I think that was like a big point of emphasis going into it. I think the NFL is saying that if that happens, it would let the NFL put a conference in Europe. They have you draw on the board, they have you draw up defenses, they have you like remember plays, regurgitated back to them, what your family life is. You like literally practice a script that you say to every team.
When you look at this class of players, who do you wish the Packers would draft so you can have a good guy on your team?
Oh, Luke. Welcome back to the episode. This is a biannual tradition now with Luke Musgraves of the Green Bay Packers, formerly the Oregon State Beavers, formerly Mikey's roommate. Were you guys roommates at Oregon State?
No, we weren't roommates, but Mikey kind of followed me around and tried to hang out with me and would eat lunch with me. And then I'd kick him out and then he'd go eat. He'd usually eat in the bathroom.
Well, I had my usual stall right by the door, and my feet would dangle, and it's just more comfortable for me. You know, less eyes.
Just like you do at home. All right, Luke. First things first. How does your body feel? You came back from a disgustingly tough injury this year. How's your body feel?
Feels good. Ankle's good. Do you want to see the pictures? I have the pictures.
Yeah, show us the pictures.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's great. Right there. It's great. You have so much time on your hands now.
These are just the inside of my ankle.
Oh, well, okay.
Shoot. Well, let me see them.
Shoot.
Did you print those out for us?
That's from the surgery?
I got these off of On the Line, but I'm assuming that's what mine would look like.
You bought them off eBay.
I was hoping that they would show the ones of it being cut open, but Luke, I already sent those to Mikey.
What was the official injury that you had? Can you disclose that information?
Tendonitis.
It was on ankle sprains they go like grade 1, 2, 3. It was a grade 0.02 ankle sprain, and I really milked it.
Wait.
I rolled my ankle just like that, and I was like, nope, not a chance I can play.
Okay. The trainers kept saying, yes, you're good to go. You're good to go. No, I don't know. It feels
what they didn't know is Maddie, the day before, in her moon boots, actually accidentally stepped on my toe. And so that's also plays a role. I tore a ligament in my ankle that needed to be fixed.
Okay. And we talked about it a little bit in the last episode, but what is the mental process like when you get injured like that? Because we all know like the physical process, all right, actually the pain and the injury and not being able to play, but the mental process of being out in sports sucks. Can you talk a little bit about that?
I think you summed it up pretty good. Sucks. Mikey, stop making that face. Okay.
You're gonna talk about how you spiraled.
Luke, do we want
on your loved one?
Small?
So what happened was I was just spiraling, and then Mikey ended up being in Chicago for some reason, and it was great that I got to see him because it's about keeping your mind kind of not focused on the injury and just trying to get better. So it was great to get a little distraction with watching Mikey's spiraling life, and it is spiraling out of control. It made me feel better about where I was, even though I was injured. I said to myself every night, at least I'm not Mikey. I have a lot going for me. Mikey has little to nothing. I mean,
that's what a good friend does.
Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually.
For you, so you would feel better about yourself. And I was the key point in turning around your injury. And were you able to come back and play after that?
You got to play a couple more regular season games, didn't you, before the playoffs?
One. I played one, which I think two. Yeah, I think I played versus
Sounds
Minnesota.
Like you need to be wearing a Guardian cap from now on.
I played versus Minnesota and Chicago, but I didn't play much versus Minnesota. Or did I play one before that? I might have played one before that.
You live a crazy life, man. What a blur.
We'll call it 1 or 2. How about? We'll call it 1 or 2.
1, 2, or 3. I think it was 2 or 3.
Okay, 2 or 3.
And then after you came back, you quickly were out of the playoffs. Is that correct?
We lost in the first round to the Eagles, the Super Bowl champions.
Let's talk about that, Luke. Let's talk about actually playing against the Eagles, because I think that's super interesting. You guys in the first round. How was it going there? How was it playing in Philadelphia?
I mean, it was just another away game. Like they were loud. I think they have a pretty passionate fan base, but it wasn't anything that wasn't able to be dealt with.
Okay. Yeah, pretty passionate. Have you seen the videos? All of the Philly fans just fighting people all the time.
Yeah. They're a very passionate fan base.
Yeah, passionate. How's the Green Bay fan base? I feel like your guys' fans are really good, wholesome, Midwestern, not really fighting civilians type fans.
I don't think they're big fighters as far as I don't really see them that much. I don't think they're big fighters, but I'm sure there's they're fans. They're having fun.
Okay, so Luke, how about on the field playing against the Eagles? Because that D line was absolutely dominant in the Super Bowl. Just I don't think they blitzed even one time. They were just rushing 4 D linemen. And how was it going against them? Are they really like that elite?
They're a pretty good team. Like they have a pretty good squad. I think all around they're a good team. So yes, their D line was really good.
How'd you hold up against that D line?
Well, if you go back to the Brazil game, which was our first game of the season, not super well. I don't know about the last game. I don't know. Probably okay.
Luke, I'm sure you did a great job. How about, and you might not even have anything on this, but that linebacker for the Eagles, and I promise I promise it's not going to be all about the Eagles, but Zach Baun, that dude that came from New Orleans.
Is he 53? What number is he?
I think he's 53. He had a crazy season.
No, he's a legit linebacker. He's one of the better ones in the league, if not one of the best ones in the league. I think that was like a big point of emphasis going into it, because he came from New Orleans, like you said, like a free agent. Nobody he was a good linebacker, but I think he really did well this season. It was impressive.
What school is he out of?
He was Wisconsin,
Northern Wichita.
Northern Wichita Tech.
Southern Wichita Tech.
Wisconsin. It's always Wisconsin linebackers that are nice and gritty.
I'm telling you, guys from like Wisconsin, Iowa, I mean, they just produce these kind of under the radar fellas. Because he was like I don't think he ever even really started in New Orleans. He was like a special teams guy, and then came over here on a 1-year contract and is an all pro now. So did you ever have to go up against him specifically, like running any routes or anything?
I don't know. I don't think so. Not sure.
Do you have any memory?
Who are you talking to, Mike? No, not really.
It sounds like you suppress all the memories of the game.
Yeah. It's kind of like a bloodbath. It's like those war movies where they get ambushed. That's what it is when I go and try to block somebody.
Yeah,
it's like
just
like bombs are going off. Like I'm trying to, crawling around, trying to save myself. I'm like trying to crawl off the field, and then right when I get there, like I just get whipped back. That's kind of what it is.
Wow,
have you played against anybody who wears a Guardian cap, the little padded helmet in the game?
I have not. But
what would
I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah, what's your perception of that?
You think that because you had to wear one as a kid, right?
Well, yeah, and I had to have this big neck brace while I played and elbow pads, but that was
I'm just saying for general walking around when you were a kid, you had to wear one of those padded helmets.
No, just when I slept. So get your facts straight.
Totally different. Luke, what is your perception of that, of people wearing Guardian caps in games? I feel like it's one thing to wear them in practice, but now more and more guys are wearing them in games.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan, to be honest, because like if you think about it like a football helmet, it's plastic. So like the whole point of it is to like deflect off, right? Whereas now you put like a fabric on there and the deflecting power. I could get into the physics of it, but neither one of you could keep up, especially Mikey. So
I talked to Taylor about that actually. He said that there's an argument to be made that it takes more impact wearing it because you don't bounce off. So like
correct.
The physics of it is actually negative.
Instead of like a glancing blow, it's gonna be like it's gonna stick more. So to me, it doesn't make sense. The Guardian caps in practice, but if the research says that there's less, whatever. I'm all about player safety, so whatever.
Yeah, as a player, I would expect that for you, but it's almost about like the perception of safety with the Guardian caps because it's so easy to see, like for fans and people like, oh, look how safe they're being with the Guardian caps. Do you guys have to wear them at practice? Is that mandatory?
Mm-hmm. You have to wear them.
How heavy are they?
They're not super heavy, but they make your head hot.
Is that the biggest negative to the Guardian cap?
I can't breathe with this thing on, coach.
They do make your head hot, yeah.
Okay. Did you watch the Super Bowl, first of all? Because you might not have, knowing you.
Yeah, I watched a few bits of it, but
Okay.
I was doing other stuff during it.
Yeah, busy guy. What was your takeaway from that? Did you expect them after playing against the
Freaking
Eagles?
pounding out 300 floors on the Stairmaster is what I was doing. I was actually watching it because I had to do stuff that day and I needed to get a workout in. So that was my only time to get a workout in. So I went on and I knew that they played the game on there, and it wasn't super. So I was watching it on a reflection on a window. So I kind of understood what was happening, but it was opposite for me. So I watched a completely different game than you did because it was opposite. So actually, my game, since it was in the reflection, the Chiefs won because it was
Crazy.
You're like the people from Harry Potter 2 when the basilisk and you couldn't look at it directly and you had to look at it with a mirror or a reflection. This is sort of the vibe I'm getting from you.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. I'm not a stupid nerd and I have a girlfriend, so I would know about that. But sure.
I have a girlfriend too. Okay.
Sounds like you're on top of it.
We watch Harry Potter. What were you gonna say, Mike?
Luke was on the Stairmaster and he watched the game. He goes, "I'm gonna be there next year. You'll see."
Is that why you were
in your that was your training?
That's why you were trying so hard on the Stairmaster motivation for next year?
No, Stairmaster is a great exercise.
What is your off-season looking like right now? What's your day-to-day?
So my day-to-day, right now I'm actually cleaning the apartment. I'm back in Green Bay, but my usual day-to-day is work out in the morning, go do a flight school lesson, go to a flight, and then come back, maybe go to the YMCA, just kind of peruse, maybe hit a Stairmaster, maybe hit a sauna, just kind of go out and give some people some lifting tips, and then come back and play some Fortnite.
You go to the local gym and go up to people and go, "You're not doing that right. You know I play the NFL.
You're not doing that right. Do you know who I am?"
So wait, what do you at the YMCA? Is this where you do your workouts, or what are you doing at the YMCA?
Look, the YMCA is right. Do you see
That's
that building
where you
right
train?
There? That's YMCA.
Wow.
Look at my Legos.
That's actually sick. Is that a Concorde? Oh, is that a SpaceX rocket?
It's technically a NASA. It's the Artemis 5 rocket launch, but SpaceX also helped out with that one as well. But it's a NASA technically.
Did you see there's this new startup with that they're making? It's basically like a Concorde type airplane. They're making like a supersonic airplane. Have you seen that?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What are your thoughts?
All about it. It's great. I think the NFL is saying that if that happens, it would open up European league for it would help let the NFL put a conference in Europe because the travel would only be a few hours.
Yeah.
Instead of 8.
Wow, that would be great. A full conference in Europe?
Yep, they'd have to put 4 teams.
Germany.
Would you want to go over there?
How would you feel about having to go play games there? Especially, I mean, you did the international going to Brazil. And what are your thoughts on the international?
Might be going to like Scotland or Ireland or something this next year.
You guys, the Packers?
I think so. That's what Maddie told me. I don't know if it was right or not.
Okay.
That'd be crazy.
Does that excite you, or does that?
Yeah, I mean, it's just another game. Like the travel's kind of like it's a big travel day, but usually we get a fly on a Boeing 777 so that's pretty sweet.
That's cool. And you get a knock on the cockpit door. Go.
Did you hear him? He said, "Is that double decker?" No, that's not double decker. Oh my goodness!
Nick's never been in the air.
Not
really.
even close to
Do
double
not
decker.
come at me, Luke.
So a 747 is actually a part double decker. It kind of has the bump. It has the nose bump. The A380 maybe is what you're talking about. The Airbus A380. That is a 4-engine full double decker.
Oh, now you know.
Those are starting to get phased out. Because the long haul big passenger flights are not as profitable for the airlines anymore. They're doing long haul. So the Airbus A350 is a big one. The Boeing 787, the Boeing 777 Dreamliner, smaller capacity still has the exact same, or still has a longer range. So that way they fill the flight instead of having a bunch of open seats. I'm surprised you don't know that.
Well, okay, now, Luke, now you're rattling off all of this knowledge here, but I believe when I sent you that Instagram message of an airplane from the Frankfurt airport, you did not know the model. I asked you if this was an Airbus or a Boeing. You didn't know it.
It was a horrible picture. I don't know what kind of phone you took that on. It was a horrible picture.
7. Things aren't going great.
So that's why there are a total of 5 pixels in the whole picture. All I saw was white, red, and blue, and some black.
After this podcast, I'm going to be able to afford a new phone. And next time I send you an airplane picture, you are going to have to be on the spot there. Okay, so thoughts on the Airbus A330? That's usually what I fly back and forth to Europe.
Yeah, are you talking about the A330 Neo?
Yeah, the Neo. Yep, I fly it on Condor.
Yeah, that's a good plane. It's comparable to the Boeing 737 Max. A lot of people are kind of phasing to the Airbuses right now, or kind of liking them more because of the Boeing issues, especially with the 737 Max. But again, they're all good airplanes. But yeah, the A330 Neo is a good plane.
Okay, last thing on the airplane stuff, and if it's too scary, we don't have to talk about it. But what is your take on like the mid-air collision over Washington D.C. with the
I think that was a helicopter issue. The helicopter had a ceiling. They busted the ceiling. The airplane was on an approach, so they were just following a glide scope. They couldn't see them. So yeah, it was unfortunate. It's a really complicated airspace if you look at it, though. Really complicated. You got so much military stuff. You have so many TFRs, temporary flight restrictions, restricted areas, just being in Washington. So it's a complicated airspace.
Okay, Luke, how is the vibe with your guys' team? Because you guys are, sorry for the hard pivot away from the aerospace stuff. We'll get back to that, but I think you guys are the youngest team in the NFL. How's the vibe with the team? Especially like, making the playoffs, getting bounced in the first rounds. What's the feeling?
Good.
Are you like a professional podcaster?
I'd say it's fair Midland. No, it was good. I mean, obviously, we wish we would have gone further in the playoffs. We have a good team, but I think spirits are high for next season.
Future's bright for you guys. What are your thoughts on like what's going on in your guys' division with the Lions losing a bunch of coaches, them kind of looking to restructure, and then Ben Johnson from the Lions going to the Bears? Like, you guys' division might be legit again.
That's a really good question, and I think you bring up a really good point. My feelings are good.
Good. That's good. This is all usable.
It is going to be a really good conference. I think every team's solid. The Bears are still a good. I mean, even though they're the lowest team in the conference, they're still a really good team. And I don't know much about Ben Johnson, but I'm sure he's going to be a good coach, and it's going to be a really tough conference.
You're very complimentary of your opponents. Very classy guy.
I'm very, very classy guy.
I know we talked a little bit about it last time that we were on, but we just touched on it. What are the guys going through right now? What's that process like for these guys who just got invited to the combine and are preparing for the draft?
That's a great question, loaded question. And the best way to answer it is by saying a lot. No, so basically, so the draft process, at least for me, is you end your season, depending on how far it goes. A lot of the guys will then go. What I did was then I went to my agency, which is where I trained, which was in California. You start training, but it's a pretty quick turnover because a lot of these guys are going to get invited to some sort of bowl, right? Not like an all-star bowl. So Senior Bowl, Shrine Bowl, Hula Bowl, PA Bowl. There's like 4 of them. So you basically train for a few weeks. You go off. You do a week of football. That is not super fun. The football is great. Everything, it's just long days, a bunch of interviews. You just kind of, it's an odd thing. But so you basically do that. That's a lot. That's draining. That was the worst part of the draft. You do that, and then basically you come back after your game. You kind of take a week to rehab and do all that stuff, and you get training for the specific stuff. So bench press, 40-yard dash, 3-cone drill, L-cone, whatever. So then you just specifically train for that. So basically you're just doing bench press day, sprints, all that stuff. What happened to me was get your invite to the combine, go to the combine, and what you see on the combine is the real point of the combine is just medical. Yeah. They already know. Obviously they want to get the speed. So it's a lot of medical stuff. So you go for like 3 days and all they do is x-rays. They walk you around shirtless. It's a lot of medical stuff to make sure they're not buying damaged goods. So like Mikey, for example, would not pass just based off of his bone structure and for some reason inverse butt. Have you ever seen
you have pay good attention to my butt for some reason.
Do you have a special toilet seat so you don't just fall right into the toilet?
Well, it's prescription. And
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I had to go through a few rounds.
So Mikey would not have done well. Even if he had 0 injuries, they would have gone, oh, this guy clearly.
Well, the problem is that I had so many screws in my body, in my ankle, and my hands, and my knees. Once they X-ray me, they knew this is not a good
made
bet.
out of lead, perchance.
Damaged goods.
Yeah, it was damaged goods. Why? Okay, why were the interviews so? Why was it so draining doing all the interviews? That was hard.
You have to interview at the Senior Bowl. You have to interview with every single team for 15 minutes. So it takes like 8 hours.
Luke, what kind of questions are they asking? Are they just like trying to get to know you? Or are they throwing you curveballs to see how you think, or what?
But everything. They have you draw on the board. They have you draw up defenses. They have you like remember plays, regurgitate it back to them. What your family life is. You like literally practice a script that you say to every team. Hi, I'm Luke Musgrave. I come from two-parent household. I have a younger brother.
I'm psychologically
I don't
sound.
remember it anymore.
How were you on the board? Were you good on the board?
So,
How's your football IQ being quizzed on the board? Were any teams asking you really hard questions in that?
Not
or was it
crazy,
all the same formula?
There are a few guys that were trying to like rattle you. Like one guy was doing this the whole time.
Really?
Who was it? What did
I don't know. I forget.
But just trying to throw you off, trying to test your
psychological
strength.
Yeah, and I crumbled. I tell you what, I crumbled.
I bet you did.
Fast.
Immediately just go, why are you looking at me like that? I gotta get out of this room. What pick do you guys have?
Luke, do you remember any really weird or interesting questions that stood out to you during that?
No, I can't remember any weird questions. Some of them would ask my golf handicap.
What is your golf handicap?
Depends on what course I'm playing.
Okay.
Well, when I was working for Tristing Tree, I was like really close to like single digits. But that was when I was just playing Tristing Tree, and the only course that I played was Tristing Tree, and I only submitted scores from Tristing Tree.
Where's Tristing Tree?
That's the Oregon State golf course in
Corvallis.
Oh,
you live under a rock?
Look, I did not know
Tristing Tree.
I don't know Tristing.
That's
like not knowing Pebble
USC.
Beach.
I'm sorry that we didn't go to USC, and we don't come. Me and Mikey don't come from rich families. My bad.
Yeah, Nick has no idea what it's like growing up the way we grew up.
I'm sorry.
2 doors down. He has no idea what it was like.
You don't know what I saw. Once I was walking on the street, some guy, gum wrapper on the ground, didn't even turn back and look at it.
I am so sorry.
Crazy. You don't know what I saw on the streets of Bend, Oregon. You don't know what I saw.
I am an East Coast elitist. Okay, I look down on you people.
I can tell. Yeah, which is weird because it'd be hard for you to look down because you're so short.
5'11" and 3/4, Luke. Okay.
Yeah, right.
I did end up being the shortest in the Alfieri family.
So. Wait, Luke, here's something good. Luke worked at Tristing Tree, that golf course, even after you got drafted. Is that correct?
That would be correct. Yeah.
So you get drafted, you're playing in the NFL, and he goes back and he works at the golf course at Tristing Tree in Corvallis.
For what? $7 an hour?
Yeah.
Well, no, I didn't realize you had to fill out a time card, so I never got paid.
Or you were a volunteer at the golf course?
Yeah. Well, I was wondering, everybody like Carter Newman. I don't know if you guys know, he's another tight end. He was like, "Oh, dude, payday today." I go, "Sweet." Ran into the office and I go, "Where's my check?" To Sean. He goes, "I don't have any time cards for you." I go, "What do you mean? You should be keeping track of that. That's your job."
Luke, you've missed out on $147 of wages.
So good thing the NFL worked out, because you would not be able to cut it in the real world.
Then I went upstairs and I stole a putter and a bunch of Pro V1s, so it worked out.
Can you golf in season, Luke, or is that?
I don't. I mean, you can, but I don't. I haven't golfed in a while.
Why not?
Because your ankle.
Just don't have the time, and I'd rather like shoot guns, shoot bows.
Oh yeah. Okay.
How much time do you get off
school
right now after the season? How much time do you get off before you have to start doing?
Few months. Let's not talk about it. Okay, let's not talk about it. You get a few months. Okay, I'm in the off season. Okay,
you're on vacation. Luke,
just milk it.
In order, your favorite activities outside of football. You have to rank them. You have to choose and actually position them. Rank them in order.
Probably like hunting, fishing.
Okay, we'll let that be one.
Are we just talking about like would hanging out with Maddie be a hobby?
No.
What do you guys do?
Hobby.
Yeah, okay. Hunting, fishing, flying, Fortnite.
You are a Renaissance man.
And then golf.
Oh yeah. Golf isn't up there now.
Who's your favorite Alfieri brother to play Fortnite with? And also, who's the best Alfieri brother at Fortnite?
Ooh, I'm gonna be honest. My favorite used to be Mikey, but wait, Maddie said hanging out with me better be a hobby. Shut up.
Yeah.
Call the wedding off.
No, get Maddie in here. We need
Just
somebody who's
second.
going to keep this interview alive.
Talk to
Podcast
Maddie.
mute. Podcast mute. Shut up. Podcast on mute. Sorry.
Podcast mute.
Podcast mute.
Good thing we muted it.
That's funny. I'm going to start doing that.
Why is Mikey's no longer your favorite? Or who is no?
Okay, so Mikey used to be my favorite. I used
What
to play with Mikey all the time when I was doing the draft thing. And then Mikey started just never playing anymore. So then I started playing with Anthony, who is a great virtual friend for me. Don't love his carbon form. Okay, he walks funny. He walks up hills funny. I don't know if you've ever noticed that, but Skeletor Man walks up hills funny. I don't like it. I went golfing with him once. I looked over and he was walking up a little grade, like a 15% grade, and maybe not even like a 10% grade. And his hips were really out. He's walking up like a bird. Don't love that about him. Okay, that's
Sure.
his one dig. That's his
So you
one
say
dig.
he's a great virtual friend, you would say.
He's a great virtual friend. Don't love his carbon form.
Okay.
What is this term? Carbon form?
Carbon. Yep. Like we're made of carbon.
Okay. Like his atoms.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. But you do put him now above Mikey in terms of Fortnite friendship.
Yeah. And then it probably goes Andy, and then it goes Mikey.
Luke,
I'll be
we've never
back up
played
there.
together. I'm not good, but I have fun. I play. Mike, tell Luke about my medical history. I used to be the most elite medic.
Yeah.
in Fortnite.
Good bed guy.
Nick's good to have
Bed guy.
in a squad because he just carries all medicine. So you can have 5 guns in your arsenal. You don't have to carry med kits or shields. You just go, Nick, I need blue. I need help. And he disperses it because he is a horrible shot. So he's more of a liability with a gun in his hands in war.
Luke, one of these days we'll play together, and you'll see my admirable attribute.
The whole draft class, of everybody in this draft class, who would you most likely want to have on your team? When you look at this class of players, who do you wish the Packers would draft so you can have a good guy on your team?
Good question.
Shador Sanders? You think he's funny? Who?
Wait, is Andy Alfieri in the draft? Andy's coming back for another year.
He's next
He's
year.
got another year. Next year.
Who would be a cool guy to hang out with?
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know anybody coming out. But when
I
Andy
know.
comes out,
Name I know.
Andy.
That offensive lineman from LSU. Have you heard him talk? Mike, remember we showed a clip of him on the show a couple weeks ago? He's like got the spirit and the of a 50-year-old man. He's very, very cool. I think that you want that guy, Luke.
Okay.
Okay, you take it?
Cool. I can
Okay.
take it. But yeah, I really want Andy.
Well, tell your coaches.
Can you talk to Matt and tell him that you guys need to draft him?
Hey guys, we need to draft Andy. Okay, first round. I am
Good.
his agent, so I would get 50% of that.
Oh, that's a
Pre-tax.
nice rate.
Pre-tax. So he gets nothing. I get half. The taxes get half.
It's just, yeah, you really had a predatorial contract that you signed, made him sign.
Yeah, and I locked him in for 30 years, and that's any job. That's any job. I don't even have to be. It's any job. I get 50%.
You're like Elvis Presley's agent.
Yeah, exactly. I also have a new business. It's a card exchange thing. With every dollar you spend, I get 0.2 cents. So you spend
That's
$1,
how I
get 0.2
will
cents.
invest in that, Luke. Here's a question.
Well,
Rank in order which, in general, positions in football are the funniest.
Oh, that's
probably
good.
Tight ends, O-line, quarterbacks. Those are top.
Quarterbacks.
Yeah, I think they have a good sense. Yeah.
Why
I
did
think
you not?
Offensive players are inherently more funny than defensive players.
Why didn't you name any
Yeah.
defensive players?
Because I don't really hang out with them as much. So I don't know.
Luke, look, I'm a defensive guy. Look how funny I am. Look how funny I've been being.
You're not that funny. You're really slow. Okay, me and Mikey are like rat tat tat, and then you're like, "Ugh." That's kind of how I go.
See, football is like rock and roll, okay? And I like to be a little bit more jazz, a little bit more smooth.
Yeah, that's not what it is. Okay, enough with the football questions. Do you guys have any other cool questions? I got a new truck yesterday. A few days
Oh yeah,
ago.
talk about
Pretty
the
cool.
truck real quick.
What kind of truck?
Yeah.
Truck.
Duramax, Denali.
What color?
Awesome. White.
Duramax Denali.
Oh, white. That's
35.
good. The dirt will stick on there.
I knew
Nice.
you were going to say something about that.
Yeah. Let me guess. That salesman really pushed hard for that, huh?
Oh,
Trust
that's
me.
sick.
Oh, we got it in white and we got 10% interest. You're going to love this truck. Okay. I trust you.
My interest rate's 14%.
That's
that
a
good?
steal, man.
Is 14% good interest rate?
Look, I don't know. Mike,
you want it as high as you can.
35. It's a 42-year mortgage.
Yeah, it's good. 30-year. Mike, what's your interest rate on the van?
It's
you tell Luke
8%.
about the van?
You bought a van?
I
paid. First of all, I paid in cash. I don't owe anything.
Oh, what a
but-
horrible thing to do.
Sick.
All cash for a depreciating asset? Smart.
Idiot.
You're an idiot. Who's your agent?
Well,
Luke?
I traded it in, and then no. Listen, I didn't sell any stocks, but I have like money market fund, and it's better than 4%. So I'd rather just pay it off. And
Oh, that's fair. Okay, that's actually not.
Like,
that's actually
if
not so.
if you think you're gonna make 4% in a money market fund, then fine. But I'm not.
All right.
4% is your bar of measurement for your investments. You have the
No,
wrong.
that's
people.
not what I'm saying.
Mike, you have.
No, I'm
a
saying that the interest
distorted-
rate was 4%. And
Oh,
I
on
don't
the
think
truck?
I'm gonna make. Yeah, and I don't think I'm going to make 4% in a money market fund, which is where that money would go. So I would just rather pay in cash.
Okay.
Luke,
Okay.
I need you to explain to Mikey that like a 15% return on your investments is a good return
That's
because
outstanding.
he
Yeah,
has
that's
been
really good if you're going to live to
corrupted
be
by
200 years old.
crypto and thinks you need to get a 100% return on all investments. It
Oh,
is-
100% return is horrible. My bar is 5 to 10x. That's my bar because that's what I've got.
Okay, so Luke, tell him-
you're going to go
explain it. You don't
bankrupt,
listen.
Mikey. You're going to go bankrupt. Here's what you need to do: is you need to just put money in the S&P 500 index fund, have somebody else
Yes,
have the password, and forget about it.
I
Okay?
have a
Just
different
forget
account
about
for that. That's a
Okay,
retirement.
I get it
account.
that you have a different account for that, but I see that account. You only have $300 in that account. Okay, that's not going to.
So it's growing slowly.
You need to just start putting it in the S&P 500. You can't look at money. You need to look at money as an engine that's going to make more money. Okay, every
That's
7
what I
years
look
the
at.
S&P is no, but you're gambling your money. You're just gambling is all you're doing.
Really?
You're playing
Because-
blackjack.
Oh, yeah. Well, I like the rush.
He does like the rush. Luke, I am so happy that you just went on that rant because I've been saying that to Mikey for years and he never listens to me.
Mikey's
Yeah,
an
and
idiot.
if I had
Mikey's
listened to you
horrible.
guys, I'd
Mikey's
be
with
flat
hor-
broke.
Mikey,
What are you
no,
now?
you would not. You would not have lost 30 grand in the crypto crash in like 2023.
Great.
or
I just made
2022.
40 grand in a month in crypto. It's fine.
Luke, are you into crypto at all?
No, absolutely not.
You're an
I
S&P
wouldn't touch
guy,
it
huh?
with a 10-foot pole.
Luke
Yeah,
should do
I'm
it. You have to
big-
do a lot of research to be good.
No, it's more about just
no. It's a luck thing.
there you
No,
go.
it's just a scam, but you can still make money on scams.
Except-
Just
except
ask my
for
friends
you.
on there.
Luke, do you have any friends on other teams in the NFL?
That's the best question you've asked all day. Good job.
Good.
That's the best question you've asked all day. I do. In fact, that's a great question. I have a few friends. My roommate in the pre-draft process name was Cody Mock. He's a guard for the Buccaneers.
Okay.
He is awesome. North Dakota guy, long red hair, farmer. So he's a redhead, long red hair, missing his 2 front teeth. He is awesome. Awesome dude. He's like.
Let's
if you
pull up
look
a
at his-
picture of him.
Yeah, you gotta pull up a picture. He's awesome.
Say the name
my
again, Luke.
favorite.
Say the name
Cody
again.
Mock, Mauch. If you look at his Instagram, if you scroll all the way down, it's
Oh, yeah, this is
screenshots
sick.
of when he was playing Farm Simulator as a kid. So it's like he's like almost time for harvest on his Farm Simulator. It's awesome.
That's
All right.
awesome. What a
Wait,
good guy.
I'm going to throw up just this. We'll end on this. Cody Mock. Can you guys see that?
Yes.
That guy is awesome.
Zoom in on his teeth though. He has like a little thing for his teeth, but he never wears it.
Is it what?
That's
I mean,
awesome.
that's actually awesome that he did that for the official photo.
I
I,
mean,
don't know
just
how
look
to
at
zoom
the
in.
hair. Just a good looking guy though.
How
Yeah,
did you
before.
how did he lose his teeth? Was he a hockey player?
I think he was
Fine,
playing
that's private.
basketball.
All right, there we go. That's fantastic. Luke, you're welcome. We did another big favor letting you come on the show. Thank you.
Wait, I want to hear about Mikey's van.
Okay.
Okay,
Nick,
I'm
if you have to go, you can go.